Now, in 1963, Jomo Kenyatta was sentenced to prison in Kapenguria together with 5 others, a group that would come to be known as the Kapenguria Six.
Well, their sentence coincided with the beginning of a young man's quest to fulfill his dream of becoming a medical officer.
Stationed in Kapenguria, Dalmas Aluodo found himself in a position to deliver letters from the man who would become Kenya's first president to the freedom fighters. This is his story, as told by Wilkie Tanyabwa.
Dalmas Aluodo is a study in contrast. He accepts modern conveniences easily, but is reluctant to give up facets of the life he has lived. And 78-year-old Dalmas has lived a full life, full of adventure and intrigues and danger. When he was younger, Dalmas sneaked letters from the man who would become Kenya's first president, Jomo Kenyatta, then jailed in Kapenguria. On 8th of April 1953, the British colonial government sent Jomo Kenyatta to prison for his part in the organization of the Mau Mau movement. He and 5 others, Bildad Kagia, Kungo Karumba, Fred Kubai, Ponge, and Achingoneko, went off to serve their sentences in Kapenguria. And as this took place across the region, a young man studied diligently, hoping to become a clinical officer. Dalmas Aluodo took one step closer to his dream when he secured an internship in Kapenguria. The young student was tasked with delivering medication to Kenyatta.
When we were in attachment, I was sent to Kitale, transferred to Kitale. During that time, from Kitale we went to Kapenguria, where Kenyatta was held. We used to take some few drugs, tablet for him when they are sick.
This put him in a position to deliver documents and letters from Kenyatta to the world.
How I was doing it was very simple, because when we had a uniform, we were given a uniform by the colonialist. We wear the white apron, then we can put the letters in the pocket. Nobody could suspect you, and we can take them out from Mzee Kenyatta.
Curious about the contents of the letters that he so faithfully delivered, Dalmas once opened a letter.
Some were written by Mzee Kenyatta. You don't give up, you keep fighting until you shall expel these people. I could remember such words.
The letters were to be delivered to contacts in Nairobi who would ensure that they arrived at their destinations.
Basically, every week we go to Nairobi. Then after reaching to Nairobi, we could simply get some few people. I could simply remember Dr. Kiano was very close to us. Can simply hand the note to him and give out to those people.
In 1959, the Kapenguria Six were moved to northern Kenya, and Dalmas's contact was broken. But Tom Mboya and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga kept up the pressure for the release of the detainees. The colonial government bowed to the pressure and released Kenyatta in 1961. The remaining members of the Kapenguria Six would be released afterwards. Kenyatta went on to become the first president of Kenya. Bildad Kagia and Ponge served as ministers in his cabinet. Achingoneko was detained by Kenyatta between 1969 and 1974 and later served as MP for Rarieda. Kungo Karumba disappeared in 1975 in Uganda, while Fred Kubai served as MP for Nakuru East before he died in 1996. Back in Nyanza, Dalmas had gone on to secure the coveted job as a clinical officer, earning an enviable salary of 220 shillings each month. And thus the story would have ended. But in 1969, Dalmas got to meet the man whose letters he had delivered when Kenyatta visited Kisumu.
I met Kenyatta after independence when Kenyatta came to Kisumu. That was 1969. And it is unfortunate when we met Mzee, and we used to greet him because he knew us when we could remember when we smuggled the letter from him. Unfortunate, by then, that time, there was trouble started by our people saying, Dume, Dume, and so on.
Dalmas would later forge a friendship with the late Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, once again reprising his role as a messenger as he delivered important parcels across the country. As his responsibilities increased, Dalmas purchased parcels of land and quietly went into sugarcane farming, casting aside his exciting youth. Today, as he watches Jomo Kenyatta's son take up the reins of power, Dalmas draws the connection between the modern Kenya, whose conveniences he enjoys, and the one that is past, with its memories of his contribution to what is today. Wilkis Anyapo for the 50-year series.